Is Iron Thorns EX missing its perfect match? Today I'm conducting an experiment to find the ultimate tag team partner that turns this world champion powerhouse into an unstoppable force. The results might shock you. What's going on YouTube? This is Sunny of Team Lethal Strike, and I am joined by fellow teammate LadyDunsparce.
Today, we are going to be answering the question that's burning in everybody's minds after that World Championship. Can Iron Thorns EX really be paired with anything? This is kind of a tricky question. What do you think?
Well, I definitely think it's very possible. So what we prepared today is 3 different decks. One that everyone is very similar to at this point, which is the Dragapult Iron Thorns build. But we're also going to be playing a build that features Banette, Noivern, Monkey Dory, cards like those. And we'll also be featuring a somewhat turbo build of Iron Hands that features Iron Thorns. A super duper straightforward build in itself. For a clear look at the lists, we can always share those in the description for you.
Free to give any of those a try. It's interesting how pairing Iron Thorns with different Pokemon can give us different play styles. So we have to really evaluate how well this is going to work. So we are going to be judging all 3 of these lists on a scale of 1 to 30 based on their consistency, how well they can get those attacks going and how effective they are, and how much fun is it to play the list. And we're going to decide, is Dragapult, Banette, or Iron Hands the best partner of these 3 for Iron Thorns?
Right, so yeah, how about we get right into it? We'll start things off with our Dragapult Iron Thorns deck, and then work our way towards some other variants as well. So without further ado, why don't we get to playing?
Let's go! Now, for a fair and impartial way to judge these 3 decks, I'm going to be playing a standard Charizard EX list across all 3 games that you're about to see, just to ensure that we can fairly judge these decks.
Yeah, Charizard being a popular deck that it is, it's definitely going to help us gauge where these decks can definitely lie for sure. Alright, so I've been given the choice of the coin flip. I'm going to choose to go second with the Pult Thorns deck. Definitely with a lot of these Iron Thorn variants, going second is definitely the best way to go, since you can also primarily start with your Arvin and Trolley plays right off the rip.
Trolley is going to be a very interesting card to see. We're going to find out if you get it in that opening hand. If you do, I will be quaking in my boots. Let's start with that basic and see how you fare.
Alright, best of luck to you. We'll draw the mulligan.
Good luck to you as well.
And there it is.
Oh, yes. We love to see it. So we'll make sure Charmander's on the bench, and we're going to grab just some other Pokemon, a Pidgeotto Charmander, get ourselves an energy attachment, and we'll end turn there.
I think the energy attachment is definitely huge there for sure.
Yeah, if you are playing into the Iron Thorns, you might not have the ability, the Infernal Rain ability, to get those energies out of your deck. Alright,
so I did hit the Arvin with the gear, so we are gonna pray that Trolley's in the deck. And it's there, if you do have it. Just seeing what else is available as well real quick. Make sure nothing's missing. I think we're gonna be okay here. One more check. Alright, cool. Good to know. Alright, and now we are going to play that Precious Trolley, and we are going to grab ourselves a very straightforward board of just 4 Dreepies.
What a killer start. 4 Dreepies, and you have that TM evolution, so you can get those recon directives fired up as early as next turn, so long as you have the energy right there.
Exactly, yes. Recon Directive is essentially the main bread and butter of your acceleration as far as draw is concerned. You don't run anything fancy like Professor's Research or anything like that, or Squawkabilly. and you only run a couple copies of Iono, so draw is at a bare minimum here.
But getting it set up that quickly is like chef's kiss for you. See what kind of options we have available here. It's kind of interesting. I didn't do a proper deck search earlier, so trying to figure out what exactly is best here. I think I might go with a little bit of an unhinged play. This might not be the play anybody would expect, but we're going to go for this.
I'm here for it.
All right, we are going to go ahead and... I don't have a whole lot of faith in Pidgeot EX, so I'm going to discard Pidgeot EX.
Yeah, under normal circumstances, you might be able to get it going right away if this were at least in a situation where you had abilities, but I mean, getting rid of it's not too bad of a thing anyway. If there is a chance that you get it, there's always, hey, you run 2 copies in the deck, it can still happen.
Oh, definitely. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to Cursed Blast. We're going to get rid of one of these Dracloaks.
Alright, yep, he did.
Now, the temptation would be to just try to get some damage onto the Iron Thorns EX. I think that it's probably in my better interest to kind of stop your deck ability, like your ability to search your deck. We'll stick that there and in turn.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like hitting the Iron Thorns anyway wouldn't really be of like the most value in the first place. Honestly, like by the time like I take my next prize, you'll pretty much be at the damage threshold that you need to even take out an Iron Thorns in one hit, which is kind of the soft spot when it comes to playing a deck with Iron Thorns against Charizard. Is eventually like the damage output won't be there for me, but yours will just be where it's supposed to stand.
Definitely. That can get a little bit scary considering you see the Charmander with 1 energy. You know that it's going to take me 3 cards to basically get that Charmander set up. The energy, the rare candy, and the Charizard EX. That could be a little bit terrifying probably on your end, especially as I'm trying to knock out your draw support.
Pretty much, yeah. And the energy with the Charmander that you have right there, that's pretty much your only true safety net at the moment.
Yeah.
Being that, again, conditions aren't exactly the most regular.
We do what we can with the loss of our abilities.
Alright, we're still gonna assemble some draw power.
Man, I thought I had you there, but then you proceed to... You would have gotten all 4 this turn, which kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, we're still all gassed for the most part. Alright, I'm just trying to think here. Your hand doesn't really have much in it, so I think for the time being I might be okay. Alright. We'll juggle that over there. Alright.
Right, so this is the point where I have like the perfect 2 cards in hand.
Ooh.
I'm going to start with Counter Catcher, and we're going to throw that... We're going to throw Dracloak up with the energy.
There it is.
And then we're going to use Unfair Stamp because you knocked out my Pidgey. Okay.
Yep, it's gone.
So we were able to get ourselves out of this hairy situation. I'm going to play Pheasantipity EX. Use that ability while I can. Huh. We've got some options here. I think I'm going to play Lumineon V. Get myself a supporter of my choosing. That's going to be Arven. And then I'll get the component that I need, which is the Ultra Ball. We're going to Ultra Ball away a couple things here. to get the Charizard EX. That unfair stamp and the counter capture was absolutely just crazy to just happen to have both of those in my hand. Using Infernal Rain, of course, get myself some energies. Trying to Star Alchemy. I want to use this before it's too late. We'll play Night Stretcher. That was not wise, but that's okay. And we'll Burning Darkness. Okay, so I'm very thankful I got out of that hairy situation, but I'm kind of curious to see where you go about this game from here.
Yeah, that's definitely the big question right there. The fact that you have a Charizard set up and you are within the damage threshold that you need to one-shot an Iron Thorns is probably one of the better positions you can be in, and I'm just going to have to stand strong as much as possible, so we'll just have to see how this goes. Okie dokie. We'll grab that. But yeah, the cards did sequence very well for you right there, and you pretty much took the fullest advantage that you could for getting your abilities back online.
One of those sequencing things you really have to pay attention to if you're playing into an Iron Thorns is, okay, I need to make sure that I'm playing my abilities after the Iron Thorns is out of the active. Iron Thorns is incredibly intimidating. I think we're about to see Dragapult, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Time to get my dragon going.
Welcome, Dragapult. It's good to see
Yeah.
you.
Which, I mean, in theory, I could have maybe avoided, but I don't really know what else you could possibly have on top of that. And Iron Thorns by itself is not going to be doing any kind of... it can't really two-shot Charizard, so I think this is going to have to be like the best play for me in this scenario. Alright, so we'll go here, and then... yeah, we'll Volt Cyclone. Send that over here, and ball's back in your court again.
Because now you're one fire energy away from knocking out this Charizard EX. So I've got to be kind of careful in that sense. Let's... I'm going to YOLO, and we're going to just see what happens from here. I'm going to just attack into Iron Thorns.
Just an attack, okay. Understood. Okay. Yep, we're gonna bring that out. And then from here, we're going to Nest Ball first. And I realized what I actually was gonna possibly get was prized, so
Ooh.
That's fine. It is what it is.
Sometimes the cards prize themselves out of your favor. It's kind of annoying when that happens.
Yeah, that's just a part of the game that, you know, some people, they have their gripes over, but I more or less just accept it the way it is.
Well, that's the mark of a great player, being able to work around when statistics don't work in your favor.
Alright, well, thankfully I did get my hands on this one card. It's going to help guide the way a bit.
Another Dracloak!
Yep, the dragons don't stop. The dragons don't stop.
Now we're making bacon for the dragons.
Alright, there's that. And then we're gonna do another little bit of recon directing. think it's gonna have to be that. Just in case I don't have what I want. Could be wrong though. Alright, that'll go there, and then, yep, we are going to do a little Phantom Dive. A Phantom Dive, and I'll send one over to Pheasantipity. We'll just throw the other 5 on the Charmander. I think everything else is where I want it to be as far as HP is concerned.
I think it's good that you're giving yourself some options here for a knockout next turn, especially knowing that Charizard EX has that 330, but making sure the other 2 have under 200 HP so you have some options to get those last 2 prize cards.
Exactly. That's definitely like the key is to give yourself options as far as what you can take out.
All right, let's Ultra Ball those away and go into another Charizard here.
Alright, and he's back.
Now, I don't have any Fire Energy in deck, but this is a great way for me to check what supporters and what resources I happen to have left in my deck.
Absolutely. There's always a free deck search.
All right.
Thankfully you have the energy anyway, or else...
Yeah, that might have been a little scary.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Because there are ways that you can sequence that a little bit differently.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
This is a very tricky decision. I feel like I'm 1 card short from making the play I want to happen, which is rather unfortunate, but we're going to try our best with what we've got here. I think we're just going to Burning Darkness here. Oh, 20 off. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. Just as crazy as me having the boss in hand. You almost had me on that one.
I know. So close. But that damage counter that you put on that Pheasantipity was the game-changing play. If you could just put all 6 on Charmander, then, I mean, you could have bossed a Blue Minion, so...
Yeah, at the same time, too, like, knowing my options, you also could have had a Professor Turo and gotten a liability off the board as well.
That's true.
Yeah, again, that's why, like, you know, damage manipulation is definitely key for sure.
So let's go ahead and give Dragapult Iron Thorns a grade. So based on consistency, how well could you get the pieces that you needed? What would you score that on a scale of 1 to 10?
Now, as far as consistency is concerned, the deck is very reliant on, first off, going second, so you can, you know, get set up right away with your whole Arvin into Trolley into TM Evo to get that going. Get your Trolley set up with your Pokemon, get the Evo to evolve some Dreepies, get your draw engine going. It is fully reliant on that, but again, there are scenarios where, again, there's not a lot of draw in the deck for you to reach this. The most consistent part of it are the Pokegears that can help you get to that part. I think I would definitely give the consistency part of it a 9.
I think that's a really, really good score for that. That really fits what I saw, because even when I was kind of dodging your obstacles, you still were able to get 4 Dracloak in play. In fact, I would love to get a Dracloak count at the end of all of this, how many you ended up playing in that game. So 9. Let's talk about attack power and attack efficiency. How easy could you get your attacks set up, and how powerful were they on a scale of 1 to 10?
So in theory, basically, starting out with, you know, just a 3 energy attack and a 2 energy attack, that's 2 different types of energies, you think in theory, like, that's actually pretty hard, but the 4 copies of Crispins and the fact that Iron Thorns, you know, is very generous with, you know, bouncing energies around from itself over to a bench Pokemon, you can definitely power stuff up in a very consistent way. So I think a 10 is definitely where I want to be for that.
Yeah, Crispin, absolutely spicy when dealing with an Iron Thorns with another Pokemon. A beautiful pairing. Last but not least, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun do you think that this deck is to play?
So I think like that could be a bit biased for myself, but I've been enjoying this deck lately. It's a potential choice of mine for the San Antonio regionals coming up very soon. Just playing it, having fun with it, and being able to work around with all the plays that I've got with it, we're giving it a 10.
29 total for our Dragapult Iron Thorns. Not exactly the perfect match, but man, that's about 95%. That's about as close as you can get.
I'm happy with it.
I'm curious to see how our next deck, Banette EX with Noivern EX and Iron Thorns, is going to compare to that one. So let's give it a go. This game, I'm already aware that Banette EX is going to have a little bit dramatically different of a playstyle than Dragapult did. Whereas you were trying to ping me and get those attacks on the bench, those damage counters on the bench. This time, this is almost like a full control deck.
Yeah, this one's going to probably be a little bit more of a grindy game as long as, you know, everything gets set up the way I think it should. We'll just have to see if that actually comes to fruition or not. Alright, here we go. I see cards.
We played. That is a fact.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so, as you saw, no thorns.
Ooh, I really, really love that start, actually. So let's get ourselves some other little guys on the bench. I do have the opportunity to use Rotom V, so we are going to take full advantage of that while we can.
Absolutely. Any chance you have a chance... Anytime you have the opportunity to do something like that, absolutely. Yep, get in there.
Opportunities, especially with the deck that I'm playing into right now, this Banette Iron Thorns nonsense. Any opportunity you have to play those items, use those abilities, you want to use them while you have the opportunity. So you're going to have to make the strategy happen to be able to use those cards.
I think we'll get this, and yeah, it's just a little bit of the downside of starting Shuppet is that I don't get to do too many of the cool things that I want to do. But we're gonna make do about it for sure. Alright, just doing a small little think. Yeah, we'll get that, why not?
Gotta check them prizes, and of course we're getting the exact same two that we saw in the Dragapult game. That Precious Trolley really is the MVP of the day, I think.
Yeah, Trolley is slowly but surely becoming probably one of my favorite aspects in the game currently.
Say, if you have the opportunity, buy it now before it becomes super, super expensive.
I made sure to get one before San Antonio. I have it ordered.
See, thinking ahead.
Alright, there's that. And, well, unfortunately, this would have been great if I would have had a Psychic Energy in hand, but I don't. Unfortunately, I have to cast away this Lightning Energy. I feel like there's definitely, like, if this opportunity arises, because we were in Arvin, we were in Town Store in here, I personally think that maybe a copy of Rescue Board would be something neat to play in here. Just for the just-in-case scenario.
Okay, so our abilities are once again shut off, which makes this a little bit of a hairy situation, but we do have access to our items, which is very, very good. Oh, always sticking me in these hard choices here.
I don't like making it easy.
No, not at all. I think I'm going to go about it this way.
Oh,
Lost something else up.
Uh-oh.
Let's... Oh, what do I want to get rid of here? I think that this is... I think I need to get rid of the counter catcher, which doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all. We'll go ahead. evolve to Charmeleon, and then I'll use this opportunity to get some more cards into hand.
Alrighty. Still no energy on board from you.
A little scary, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I'm currently staring down an easy way for you to get a Charizard going, which it's not good for me. I think in this scenario I'm gonna have to. So I ain't got much here. I think we'll have to turn up the Monkey Dory and bring up the Thorns again. Just for a little feeble attempt at maybe trying to slow you down a little bit, as far as, like, assuming you have the Charizard, you just won't be able to accelerate your energies on.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit tricky. I just got the Charizard
Yep.
top deck.
And you top decked it? Now you're just showing off.
Man. Okay, so let's... I don't see any energies on board. So I'm actually going to evolve into this Dusknoir here.
Alright.
And I'm going to use Curse Blast, and I'm going to take out the Monkey Dory.
Yep, monkey gone.
It's an even price trade, but I think it's worth it to actually let you take a prize card. It's going to increase my damage output. Okay. The prize card I got was Boss's Orders, actually.
Ooh.
That was the prize card of the century. We are going to use Infernal Rain. We're taking advantage of these abilities while we have access to them.
Oh yeah, I definitely would.
And then we'll throw another Duskull on the bench, and we will Burning Darkness for 420 damage. Seems excessive, not gonna lie. Right?
Oh, okie dokie. Well, yes, this is basically the Achilles heel when it comes to playing these sort of Banette builds against Charizard in general. For one, I have the type disadvantage, and for two, once you get going in general, 30 damage just to lock lock items, it's not fully gonna cut it.
Have been able to get me locked before. Well, I didn't even use, to be honest, I didn't even use a rare candy for this one, for this Charizard.
Nope, you got there the hard way.
Yeah, that's shocking, actually.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
All right, so we are gonna see Monkey Dory hit the bench. This could be really interesting because my output right now is only 210 onto this Iron Thorns.
Yeah, it could change, but we'll see. Alright, so I really wish I still had that Turo, but yeah, here comes something. Let me double check one more thing. Yeah, we might be in a bit of a situation here.
Yeah, this is getting spicy.
Let's see. Well, I do have a small little cheeky play that I can do. It's not brilliant, but it can be done. Yeah, so we're bringing that up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Duskull you could always just get rid of if you have a Dusclops. At least with this, you just need like to burn an energy if you have one. Which commonly, a lot of the Zard decks that I've seen play at least 5.
Charizard EX are notorious for being greedy with energy. Very, very little energy, but the idea is to kind of accelerate them as fast as possible. Unfortunately, I do have Professor Turo's scenario in hand.
Yeah, it happens. Alright, there it is.
Alright, and we are going to go ahead and just get rid of the Rotom. We don't really need the Rotom anymore at this point.
Oh, it did its biddings.
It did its job, and oh no!
Ooh.
I was hoping to have Dusclops or Dusknoir to take another prize card.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a little bit weird.
Might have caught a little bit of a break. Just slightly.
I think you might have. Because I am only doing 210 damage.
Alrighty, so... where do we go from here? Alright, so... I'm going to... I'm going to use Monkey Dory's ability, and we are going to... Might as well tick the Zard down, I guess.
Yeah. Seems like a good plan.
Yeah, this would just be a lot better for me if I had access to psychic energy, but we haven't really been lucky on the energy department.
I haven't seen a Crispin on your side either, which is, you know, the one dark energy being the only energy we've seen this entire game is a little bit concerning in terms of, you know, getting those pieces you need to attack.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm just gonna basically play off the information that I've got, and
information I told you aloud.
That's why you gotta keep a poker face in these games. But either way, this is just two friends playing some games of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I mean this is the fun way to do it, right? Hanging out with a friend, just testing different things, seeing what works, what doesn't work.
In the meantime,
I can make this work.
Oh,
I did get Night Stretcher, which is super nice because I have the rare candy.
Oh, yep, there it is. Bye, Monkey.
Sorry, Monkey Dory.
Bye, Monkey. We'll be seeing you.
You did your best. Hey. I think from here you can kind of predict where the rest of this turn's going. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I wonder if you're going to be able to get that Banette set up, because Poltergeist is a very, very good move. It does 60 damage for every trainer card that's in my hand. So, in theory, if you think I have 6 trainers in my hand, I do have 6 cards in hand. If you think I have 6 trainers, you can do 360 damage. That's really nice.
Yeah, that is very true. However, we don't have Banette EX. We don't have an energy to put on there. I have Crispin, that's about it, but that's not going to get me the rest of the pieces, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness.
So, not much we can do about that. I'll play Lost Vacuum to get rid of that. And then, let's see.
Track.
Yeah, this is kind of the Achilles heel when it comes to playing these sort of Banette decks. If you're dealing with a deck that's just dealing all the damage in the world, and they don't really care if they have their items and they're already set up and all that fun stuff, then everything else doesn't really matter after that. Alright, well, much later we did find ourselves a Banette. We did find Earthen Vessel to get more energies. So that did happen.
Iono of the Century?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's still not going to be enough since, again, we're weak to dark, and 30 damage is not going to cut it on our end. So that's basically going to be it then.
Man, I can't use this rare candy that's in my hand now.
Oh, shucks. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Whatever will you do? Yep, and there's that. That is the game. GG's there.
Yes, good game to you as well. Part of me wonders if this deck would be better with maybe something like a Mimikyu that blocks the attacks of an EX Pokemon. Just another method of control. So let's give it a score, right? What, based on consistency, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give the Net EX?
Right, so solely based on the way that we've built this, it's basically running the same engine that the last deck was playing with Trolley and TM Evo and stuff like that. There is the question of, like, of course, the Noivern. I mean, we did put Noivern in there. Yes, we did. However, Noivern didn't really have its use since, you know, you're not really running any basic Pokemon that I can really stop. There's Radiant Charizard, but, you know, why would I set this up just for just that one thing in general? However, you know, it can still be good in other matchups, of course. Just, that's not its time to shine. That's about it. But again, based on everything that I've saw from this, and that we are running off the same engine as before, well, actually, we don't have Dracloak in the deck, obviously, since that's like an impossibility. I'm gonna give it an 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8. You know, I love that you're judging it fairly because it's seeing just one game. I mean, we have played this matchup before, and I was toast. So even the best decks have their bad days, and I think I just happened to stumble upon everything I needed while Crispin just took a little vacay in the deck, unfortunately. Looking into attack power and attack efficiency on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give that?
So, again, same concept as the last deck, so not much has really changed as far as that's concerned. Banette does have a little bit more freedom because for Poltergeist, you are allowed to use a colorless energy, whereas, you know, Dragapult required 2 different kinds of energies. Nothing changes with Thorns. But there's also the fact that you can get cute, like the games that you do use Noivern to block, like, you know, special energies in stadiums, if that comes into play, that could happen. So, again, it was like the same consistency in that sense for attacking and all that such. You could even be cute and Crispin the Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory to get that set up, and then power up an attacker on top of that, so it even has that going for it. So, in that case, I'm giving that a 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a great... I think that I would agree with that completely because, I mean, as I said in the game, 6 energies would have wiped... Or not 6 energies, sorry. 6 trainer cards in my hand would have wiped out my Charizard. So, I mean, the ability to be able to use lightning energies onto that Poltergeist attack, very, very nice if you have to move one of those lightning energies from Iron Thorns. Last but not least, did you have fun? Scale of 1 to 10.
Again, you know, fun is definitely like a matter of an opinion kind of thing, which I guess is the main point of the question, right? But, yeah, these sort of like slower, grindy, controller sort of builds of decks is not really my playstyle. I like to just go fast and just get in there right away. So as far as fun's concerned, I'd give, I'll be somewhat generous and give it a 7.
So that's going to put us at a total score of 25, doing math, 25 total points. Again, not the perfect match, but say that we're getting close to finding some other just ways that Iron Thorns can be played. It's going to be very interesting now to see it go on the all offense with Iron Hands next. So let's check it out. To Game 3, this is a great time for me to tell you to like and subscribe to Team Lethal Strike's channel if you want to see more exciting Pokemon TCG content.
And if you also want to see more of us for our own content, both of us do stream on Twitch on our own separate channels. You can find myself at twitch.tv/SunnyTCG. And for LadyDunsparce, she is over on Twitch as well at twitch.tv/LadyDunsparce.
The greatest start in the history of man. But you gave me 3 mulligans, so I'm not going to complain too much here.
Yeah, the high mulligans were kind of expected. We only have 7 basics, but we did find one. We do have a Amon.
And we're gonna take all 3 of these mulligans.
Well, that's definitely a start, all right.
Yeah, a little bit scary when you're a little fish looking into the eyes of the scariest lightning Pokemon, I think, that's kind of like taking over format right now.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna finagle our way around this one and hope we can get all of the pieces that we need. We definitely want a Duskull. Squad's all here. We gotta get the Rotom. And with the knowledge that I am going into an Iron Thorns based list, I definitely want to get that energy attachment immediately if I can. Okay.
And there you go. A big old setup for you.
With the fish in the front. We love it.
Now we'll see what I'm playing with here. Alright, so I've got an Arven.
Guinness, do you have a precious trolley?
This build doesn't play it.
Man, could have been the MVP of today's games,
yeah.
But no precious trolley.
Yeah, I will spoil that my ace spec is in the deck.
Ooh.
Alright, yeah, I think it's gonna be these.
Hey.
I would have loved the Turbo Energize there, but was not anything I can grab at the moment. Because I did want to get this Iron Hands out of the active. It's doing me no good being where it is.
Absolutely, and one of the best things about Future Booster Energy Capsules, you can just pop that thing on Iron Thorns or Iron Hands, and it works the same way.
The power of the future.
The power of retreating for free.
Alright, so we'll go... Yep, we got the capsule there. We'll put the thorns here. Treat, and we are going to try to spin the wheel on Electric Generator and see what we can get.
Oh,
and wouldn't you know it, we got a big whopping both energies.
Nice.
Alright, so... That's good. That does give me options. Alright, we'll put this here. And then I think we are gonna send it on back.
Right. So at the moment, I'm on team do whatever it takes to move Lumineon out of the active spot. That's kind of where we're at the moment. Because with the Ampu very much attack, you could easily get a 3-prize knockout from my Lumineon.
That is very true, yeah. Lumineon being like on the active, let alone the board, is definitely not what you want.
I will say, there are not a whole lot of switching cards, if any, available in this deck. The idea of this deck's not to do a whole lot of switching, using Pidgeot EX as the main retreater. That's a little bit scary.
Alright, and there's the stone.
I'm gonna go ahead and set up the Charizard EX on the bench. So it is fully set up, but I don't think I'm going to have... I'm going to go ahead and leave things as is for now. I don't think I'm going to try to move Lumineon at this point. I think Professor Turo's scenario is what I need to find moving it to next turn.
Alright. Let's see what we're doing here. I got a Pokegear, to which I have this. I'll grab that.
Ooh, boss's orders.
Yeah.
You can get some really creative plays here using boss's orders, especially if the ace spec you happen to be using is the prime catcher. That's a way to get Lumineon and Iron Hands together in the active spots.
Take the research, I guess. Now I'm thinking about this. You know, Charizard is pretty much good to go. I can knock out Lumineon all I want, but then that pretty much gives you an opportunity to take out anything on my entire board. 230 is the highest our HP goes. We do not have any HP modifiers or anything like that. So, having said that, I am going to put the double turbo onto you. I'm also going to bring out that Charizard. We're just going to face the Charizard right away. If at any point I don't get to see the Lumineon knockout ever again, then it is what it is. But Charizard is just a lot more threatening than a fish.
Oh, it's very true because realistically, you know that this deck does not play any water energy. And because this is a standard list, we know that switching options are really not heavily available, so I could leave that fish in the active for all I want. Now, it does give you some interesting plays for later on. I'm very, very curious to see what ends up going on there.
I figured the lightning would be fine here. We run like a lot more lightning than double turbo, and plus double turbo is gonna mess with some damage output. That's kind of my theory there, at least.
And use the Force Seal Stone.
Yes, but just to clarify, we didn't bring this up earlier, but for those who don't know, the reason LadyDunsparce is allowed to use Forest Seal Stone while Iron Thorns is in the active is because Forest Seal Stone is a tool, and it's not the Pokemon itself. You're using the effect of a tool. You're not using the effect of the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's very, very useful to get the single card that you might need to get out of a bind. Ahead and use Dusclops just to get that extra damage onto Iron Thorns to give me enough to knock it out this turn.
All right,
give me a little bit more freedom.
Yep, it's gone.
All right.
All right. We'll draw one. All right, so I'm gonna put my other Iron Hands on the bench now.
Another one.
I'm gonna give it Heavy Baton, which. All right, I'm actually silly for putting that there. I actually forgot what Baton did for that smidgen of a second. But it is what it is.
Or Heavy Baton is a very, very interesting card. So if you have a retreat cost of exactly 4, so the Iron Hands does, and if it's knocked out, then you can move 3 basic energy cards from that Pokemon to another. In a sense, it is, ready for it? Passing the baton. It makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. Alright, well, that's fine. We'll still swing. But now you have access to abilities, so hey, ball's in your court on that one.
So I'm going to go ahead and just evolve to Charmeleon, attach the energy, just kind of checking out the situation I have here. I think maybe I'll Nest Ball, get myself another Duskull. And then I'll go ahead. I really am just a hair short for the... I'm just the teensiest bit short of a knockout on this Pokemon. What? I thought I had everything I needed. Well, we'll go ahead. Burning Darkness. And hope that maybe I can get the Charizard EX next turn.
Alrighty. Alright, so things are looking pretty interesting on my end. Let's double check something real quick. However, there's definitely a line that you have for sure. It's going to come down to, at this point, if you got it, you got it. But we're still going to play things as the Earth still spins. Alright, that's going to go there.
Play to your thoughts. You never know. I might not have those pieces or a way to get those pieces. In fact, the amount of cards I played last turn could give an indication that might be hard for me to find.
Yeah, possibly. But there's also the part that, you know, maybe you're holding on to something. It's always a theory of, you know, just because you can play something doesn't mean you need to play something.
That's true, too.
That's what most people don't realize at the time, you know. Especially, like, newer players. They think, like, oh, it glows, I have to play it. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and research.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that's a research. That was that.
7 fresh new cards to the hand. So
right.
Let's see if you got the resources you needed here.
Alright, well, thankfully for myself, I am going to be using Iron Hand's signature attack, Amp You Very Much.
I can do that. Poor Charizard. Never stood a chance.
Yeah, I did not quite escape in time, but again, we'll just have to see where this goes for you now. This could still be sticky for me, so we'll have to find out.
Okay, I do have the Ultra Ball in hand to make this work. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get that Charizard EX.
Yep, you found the Zard. There it is.
Do I want to use Infernal Rain? Sure.
Oh, hello. Well, at least very much to search. I highly doubt you're going to attach energies anywhere.
Yeah, there's nowhere I really want to attach an energy here.
Yeah.
But
And again, you only have 5 in the deck, so there's also that.
I'm going to play a spicy move here. I'm actually going to use Briar.
Ooh.
Which is going to give me 1 additional prize card for this knockout. So you take 3 prizes for an EX, I take 3 prizes for an EX.
Yeah, pretty fair trade, I guess. I suppose.
Briar is one of those special cards that you can only use if your opponent has 2 prize cards left and you have and you're attacking with a Terra Pokemon. A lot of conditions have to be met. Those conditions happen to be met, so I'm not going to complain.
Alright, so I am going to go ahead and play a Pokemon catcher. See if this works. Which it did. So we are going to get ourselves... I think the Lumineon would be best here to grab. Alright, now I am in a... Alright, well you did already use your 4 Seal Stones, so I'm pretty much good to put this down now. We'll use this, see what's in my deck real quick. Just taking a little gander. Now, my situation stands as such. I've got 3 lightnings in deck. I've got 3 generators in deck. I have Arven in hand. I also have a research in hand.
That's a gamble.
Yeah, it's either one of them is a gamble for sure. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to play the gamble game of going with as thin of a deck as possible, and then hopefully we do end up getting what we want. Alright, let's see. Research. Alright, I ended up with a generator, but I did draw 1 of the lightning energies. So it's a 1 in 10 chance, or something like that. Generator? And we got there.
Adding fuel to the fire here, right?
And you know what? Just because we can, I'll take 3 more prizes even though I have 2.
So now I owe you a prize in our next game, I guess.
Something like that.
That's the way it works, right?
Yeah, that's the trade-off. Oop, the button can hit, please. There we go. Game was kind of just doing what it felt like right there.
Well, good game. The Lumineon ended up being the worst start in the history of starts, particularly with this deck. So let's go ahead, give it a grade. What would you give that for consistency? Out of what, 1 to 10?
Now, as far as consistency is concerned, I should I should verify that we did play a game with this a couple days ago on some older footage that unfortunately got botched. and I basically did attach pass for the only 3 turns that I had, which is something that can happen. You can definitely get those like bricky hands, even though the deck is meant to just go zoom. Sometimes you can get, you know, radars without needing Pokemon, generators with nothing on the bench. You can hit no energies off your generators in the first place, and then your plan just kind of falls apart in a way. So as far as consistency is concerned, I am going to give it a... I'm not going to be as generous. I'll give it a 7 for this one.
And okay, so that's like a solid C. I mean, all decks kind of have their bad days and their great days, and it's kind of great to actually play it a couple times and see it really work badly, and you guys get to see it work well, so maybe you'll want to play that deck. Let's go into attack, efficiency, and power. What would you give that? Scale of 1 to 10. Right,
so, the attacks are pretty much heavily reliant, again, on the generator in the first place, since the cheapest attack in here is literally 3 energies, but Double Turbo does complement that pretty well. And the fact that, you know, if you go second, you can take advantage of your Turbo Energize if that opportunity approaches. Kind of in the same way how we had, you know, Trolley TM Evo. This deck plays a little bit differently, where you have Techno Radar and Turbo Energize. A little bit of a different strategy, sort of, kinda. But at least Arvin does give you some options. If you have all those pieces, you can always go for a generator to get energies on the board as fast as possible. I'm going to go ahead and give that, as far as the energy matter is concerned, I'll give it an 8.
An 8? So that's putting us at a 15 so far. I think 8 is a very fair score. I think that those attacks were powerful, and you were able to hit them when you needed them the most. Last but not least, did you have fun with this deck on a scale of 1 to 10?
Right, so my play style, I think in general, is just, you know, very straightforward play, attack with, you know, big bad dudes and see where it takes me. That's just kind of like one of my main play styles and all that stuff. And again, I gotta take into accountability that, you know, sometimes I won't always have the best hands. I'll brick, and then I'm just sitting here like, wow, I'm actually not having fun. Then there's the part of me that actually is having fun for sure. As far as like the whole balance is concerned, of the fun is concerned, I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8 as well, so that's going to put us at a 23 total for Iron Hands EX as Iron Thorns partner. Very, very interesting how, at the end of the day, our Dragapult pair ends up taking the win here with a 29 out of 30.
Yeah, so I mean, it would seem like, you know, the whole the proven part of Pult Thorns is definitely what helped it out a lot, but I still am very optimistic that Iron Thorns can definitely have all kinds of partners in general. It's just all up to us to see where those can be. However, if you, the viewer of this video, has any ideas as far as what would you like to pair Iron Thorns with, or what do you think it could be a good partner for it, leave us a comment down below in the comment section.
We made a video with every single Pokemon that we think could have reasonably paired with Iron Thorns. You would have been here for hours. So we kept it short, we kept it concise, but really, if there's one you'd like to see, then we would love to show that off on the TLS channel here, which make sure you like and subscribe so that you can see more super cool Pokemon TCG content.
Yeah, with that and more to come, this has been Sunny, and as well as LadyDunsparce. Thank you all for watching, and always remember to strike first.
Strike first.